You receive a payment you didn't have to chase, and your first instinct is to get rid of it. You spend it, you give it away. Or you work twice as hard to prove you deserve it. Why? Because somewhere inside you've decided that money is respectable only when it hurts. Money does not become more virtuous because it required more exhaustion. And exhaustion is not proof of character. Welcome to Money Patterns Decoded. Money is never just about money. It is a pattern. Today we expose one of those hidden patterns, see how it controls your finances, and discover the precise shift that can set you free. Let's begin. The pattern is called the split source pattern. It appears when you divide money into respectable sources and suspicious sources, as if every dollar has a different moral identity. Your salary feels legitimate because you can point to the hours. But the royalty feels strange because the work happened months ago. An investment payment can feel undeserved. A gift can make you uncomfortable. A business system that earns while you're away may trigger the urge to create more work immediately. You may receive unexpected money, then spend it quickly. You may underprice the next offer. You may overwork after a profitable month. Not because you consciously want to lose money, but because ease feels unfamiliar. Most people don't see their money patterns because they live inside them. Stay with that feeling for a moment. If your self-respect was built around sacrifice, ease can feel threatening. It suggests that your value might be larger than the hours you personally witnessed. And that challenges an old rule. If I work hard, I deserve money. If money comes easily, something must be wrong. That rule may have protected you once. It gave you discipline. It helped you survive. But carried too far, it turns effort into a private admission fee for receiving. You start believing that every dollar must be paid for again and again through strain, worry, or visible sacrifice. Then the cycle becomes easy to recognize. Success creates guilt. Guilt creates compensating behavior. You work after success. You give money away impulsively. You refuse to count recurring income in your plans. You spend a windfall simply to restore the emotional landscape you know. You are not necessarily trying to lose money. You are trying to return to an identity that feels safe. That's the mechanism. But what if I'm just being naive? What if the easy money really is unstable, poorly understood, or carrying hidden conditions? Good. Check it. Check the terms, the legality, the risk, the liquidity, and the sustainability. A recurring payment is not automatically secure. An investment is not automatically wise. A gift may carry expectations. Discernment is not shame. Emotional neutrality does not mean automatic approval. It means you can evaluate a source clearly without deciding that receiving itself makes you less worthy. Conscious receiving is not blind trust, and spiritual awareness does not replace planning, skill, contracts, or professional guidance. Imagine your income is one river. It enters the valley through many channels. One channel moves quickly after a storm. Another flows steadily through the fields. A third is redirected by an old stone structure built years ago. Would you call the water in one channel pure and the water in another corrupt? No. It is one river, moving through different structures, timing, and terrain. Salary, royalties, dividends, business revenue, and gifts are different channels through which value circulates. In inner alchemy language, the work is reunification. You bring fragmented meaning back into a coherent whole. You stop asking which source is morally superior, and you begin asking what value, agreement, service risk, or prior decision allowed this money to arrive, that gives us a different way to see ease. Money is not a moral biography. It is stored value in motion. Effort can create value, but effort is not the only thing that carries value forward. Trust carries it. A useful system carries it. A previous decision carries it. Creative work can continue serving people after the day you made it. An investment may reflect capital allocated earlier. A partnership may reflect coordinated strengths. The arrival feels easy today because meaningful work, structure, or risk was handled before today. Ease is not proof of corruption. Sometimes it is evidence that value has been organized. Now make this practical. For the next 7 days, use a 5-minute exercise called the Unified Source Ledger. Open a notebook or a simple digital note. Every time money arrives, record the amount and the channel. No moral labels, just facts. For example, $240, royalty. Value behind it, a course lesson created 3 months ago and still serving an audience. Roll, $120 to reserves, $72 to growth, and $48 to spending. Those percentages are only an example. The point is to assign the resource before guilt or excitement assigns it for you. For a salary, you might write, current labor and expertise supported an organization. For a client payment, a defined service was delivered. For investment income, capital was placed at risk under a particular strategy. For a gift, another person chose to transfer resources, subject to whatever boundaries or conditions apply. Then remove words like clean, dirty, lucky, lazy, and undeserved. Replace them with factual language. Finally, assign each inflow a role: spending, reserves, growth, or generosity. Even $10 can receive a role. This separates receiving from reacting. Imagine someone with a regular salary and creative royalties. The salary feels legitimate because it follows visible work each week. The royalties feel suspicious because the original effort happened months ago, so the person spends the royalties immediately, refuses to include them in a plan, or works late every night to prove the money is still deserved. The ledger changes the conversation. The salary is compensation for current service. The royalties are continued value from previous creative service. Both can be reviewed. Both can be tested for stability. Both can be directed wisely. You are no longer asking, am I a good person because this money arrived? You are asking, what is the most responsible and meaningful use of this resource? Watch for the moment you want to overwork, underprice, hide, or spend, simply because ease feels unfamiliar. That moment is not a command, it is information. Pause there. Name the channel. Name what enabled it. Check the risk. Give the money a roll. The split source pattern divides one circulating force into respectable and suspicious channels. The river reminds you that different channels do not require different moral identities. The unified source ledger helps reunify your financial life. Record every inflow. Identify what enabled it. Remove the shame and assign the resource deliberately. Money is a pattern, not a person. It does not need to prove your virtue, and you do not need to prove your worth through exhaustion. If this pattern showed up in your reaction to royalties, gifts, investments, or unexpected income, the deeper work is waiting for you. That is the money pattern. That is the mechanism. And that is your shift today. If you're ready to decode the full architecture of your financial life, explore my complete library at Desmarques.com. Money is a pattern. Awareness is the key.